Imagine you're the most famous pianist in your country. You're playing live on the radio, and the music is beautiful. Then, a bomb hits the building. The windows shatter, the floor shakes, but you don't stop. You keep playing until the last second. This is Wladyslaw Szpilman. In 1939, he was a star. In 1942, he was a prisoner. And by 1944, he was a ghost living in the ruins of a dead city. Today, we're recapping The Pianist, a true story that shows how art can survive even when humanity fails. This isn't just a war movie, it's a survival horror where the only weapon is a piano. The Nazis didn't take everything at once, they took it piece by piece. First, the Szpilmans are told they can only keep a small amount of money. Then, they have to sell their piano, their soul, for a few coins. Then, the walls go up. The Warsaw Ghetto is a literal hell on earth. Wladyslaw finds work playing in a cafe, but the atmosphere is haunting. Inside, the rich Jewish elite eat and drink. Outside, children are starving to death in the snow. It's a world where human life has lost its value. One night, the family watches from their window as the SS enter the building across the street. They force an old man in a wheelchair out onto a balcony, and then they simply toss him over the edge. No reason, no mercy. This is the new reality. 1942. The great action begins. Thousands are rounded up for resettlement. The Szpilman family waits for hours in the blistering sun. In their final moment of dignity, they share a single piece of candy, cutting it into 6 tiny pieces. It's their last supper. As they are being pushed into the cattle cars, a policeman who recognizes Wladyslaw pulls him out of the line. Wladyslaw tries to go back for his family, but the man screams at him to run. He watches, paralyzed, as the train pulls away. His father, mother, and sisters are gone. He is alive, but he is completely alone in a city that wants him dead. Wladyslaw escapes the ghetto and is hidden by the Polish resistance in a series of safe houses. But safe is a relative term. He has to stay perfectly silent. If he drops a plate, he dies. If he coughs too loud, he dies. In one of the most famous scenes, he finds a piano in his hideout. He's been silent for months. His fingers ache to play, but he can't make a sound. He sits at the keys and plays a silent concerto in the air, his fingers hovering just millimeters above the ivory. It's a heart-wrenching image of a man trying to keep his soul alive while his body is starving. Soon, the city erupts in the Warsaw Uprising, and Wladyslaw's building is shelled. He flees into the ruins, looking less like a man and more like a walking skeleton. Warsaw is now a graveyard of bricks. Wladyslaw is foraging like an animal when he finds a can of pickles. He's so weak he can't even open it. As he tries to smash it, he looks up. Standing there is a German officer, Wilhelm Hosenfeld. This is the moment. Hosenfeld asks what he does. Wladyslaw whispers, "I was a pianist." The officer leads him to a piano in the ruins of the villa. Wladyslaw's hands are frozen and filthy, but he begins to play Chopin's Ballade No. 1. For a few minutes, the war stops. The music is so beautiful, so human, that Hosenfeld cannot kill him. Instead, he hides him in the attic and brings him bread and jam. A Nazi officer becomes the protector of a Jewish pianist. The Russians arrive and the Germans flee. In a final act of kindness, Hosenfeld gives Wladyslaw his heavy coat, but it almost costs him his life. The Polish troops see the German coat and nearly shoot him. "I'm Polish," he screamed. "Please, I'm a pianist." Wladyslaw survives. He goes back to the radio station and plays the same song he was playing when the bombs first fell. But there is no happy ending for everyone. Hosenfeld is captured by the Soviets and dies in a labor camp years later. Wladyslaw lived until he was 88, but he never forgot the man who saw the music in him when the rest of the world saw a target. If you found this story powerful, Hit the like button and subscribe to Quick Recap TV for more deep dives into cinema's greatest stories.